God set him apart before he was born. His mother couldn't drink wine, couldn't eat anything unclean, because what she was carrying was consecrated, holy, separated, chosen for something specific. Samson knew all of this. He spent his entire life choosing everything else, and God used him anyway. That is either the most hopeful thing in Judges or the most terrifying. Day 66. Gifted. Judges 13:16. The Philistines have dominated Israel for 40 years when the angel appears to Manoah's wife. She is barren, she has no children, and a man who looks like an angel of God comes to her and tells her, "You are going to conceive and give birth to a son. No wine, no fermented drink, nothing unclean, because the boy will be a Nazirite, set apart to God from birth. No razor shall touch his head, and he will begin to deliver Israel from the Philistines." She tells her husband Manoah. He prays, "Lord, let the man of God come again, and teach us how to raise the boy." The angel comes again. Manoah asks, "What is to be the rule for the boy's life and work?" The angel repeats the instructions. Then Manoah asks his name. "Why do you ask my name? It is beyond understanding." Manoah offers a burnt offering. The flame goes up from the altar. The angel ascends in the flame. Manoah and his wife fall face down. They realize who they have been talking to. Manoah says, "We are going to die. We have seen God." His wife is more composed. If God wanted to kill us, he would not have accepted our offering. He would not have shown us all these things or told us this. She is right. The son is born. They name him Samson. He grows up. The Lord blesses him. The Spirit of the Lord begins to stir in him. Everything is in place. Everything is ready. And then Samson goes to Timnah. He sees a young Philistine woman in Timnah. He comes home and tells his parents, "I saw a Philistine woman in Timnah. Get her for me as my wife." His parents are horrified. Is there no acceptable woman among all our people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines to get a wife? Get her for me. She's the right one for me. The text pauses to note, his parents did not know that this was from the Lord, who was seeking an occasion to confront the Philistines. Even Samson's worst impulses get threaded into God's purposes. This will be the pattern of his entire life. He never fully surrenders to the calling he was born into, and God never stops working through him anyway. On the way to Timnah, a young lion comes roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord comes powerfully on him. He tears the lion apart with his bare hands as he might have torn a young goat. He tells no one. He marries the woman. On his way back, he turns aside to look at the lion's carcass. A swarm of bees has made honey in it. He scoops out the honey with his hands and eats it as he walks. He gives some to his parents. He does not tell them where it came from. He makes a feast. 7 days, as was the custom. 30 Philistine companions are given to him. He gives them a riddle. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. If you solve it in 7 days, I give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. If you cannot, you give me the same. They cannot solve it. On the 4th day, they go to his wife. "Coax your husband into explaining the riddle for us, or we will burn you and your father's household to death." She weeps, she nags. 7 days of it. On the 7th day, because she pressed him hard, he tells her. She tells her people. Before sunset, they give him the answer. What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion? Samson looks at them. If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle. The Spirit of the Lord comes powerfully on him. He goes to Ashkelon, strikes down 30 men, takes their belongings, gives them to the men who solved the riddle. He returns to his father's house, in anger. His wife is given to his companion, the one who had been his best man. Later, at wheat harvest, Samson goes to visit his wife. Her father stops him at the door. "I was so sure you hated her that I gave her to your companion. Isn't her younger sister more attractive? Take her instead. This time I have a right to get even with the Philistines." He catches 300 foxes. He takes torches. He ties the fox's tail to tail with a torch between each pair, sets the torches on fire, lets the foxes loose in the standing grain of the Philistines. And then the fields catch. The grain goes up. The vineyards, the olive groves, all of it. The Philistines ask, "Who did this?" Samson of the Timnites, because his father-in-law gave his wife away. The Philistines burn the woman and her father to death. Samson says, "Since you have done this, I swear I won't stop until I have taken my revenge." He attacks them viciously, a great slaughter. Then he goes and lives in a cave. 3,000 men of Judah come to him. Don't you know the Philistines rule over us? What have you done to us? He lets them bind him with 2 new ropes and hand him over, on the condition they won't kill him themselves. The Philistines come shouting to meet him. The Spirit of the Lord comes powerfully. The ropes on his arms become like charred flax. The bindings drop. He finds a fresh jawbone of a donkey. He grabs it. With the donkey's jawbone, he strikes down 1,000 men. With the donkey's jawbone, I have made donkeys of them. With a donkey's jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men. He throws the jawbone away. The place is called Ramath Lehi, Jawbone Hill. He is very thirsty. He cries out to God, one of the rare moments in Samson's story where he actually prays. You have given your servant this great victory. Must I now die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised? God opens a hollow place in Lehi. Water comes out. Samson drinks. His strength returns. He judges Israel for 20 years in the days of the Philistines. Samson goes to Gaza. He sees a prostitute there. He goes in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza find out. They surround the place and wait all night at the city gate. Silent, patient. In the morning, we will kill him. Samson lies until midnight. Then he gets up, takes hold of the doors of the city gate with the 2 posts, tears them loose, bar and all, hoists them on his shoulders, and carries them to the top of the hill facing Hebron. The city gate, the whole thing, carried on his shoulders to the top of a hill. He never stops being extraordinary. He never learns restraint. Then he falls in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek. Her name is Delilah. The rulers of the Philistines go to her, each of them, 5 rulers. They make her an offer. See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength and how we can overpower him so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver. 5,500 shekels. An enormous sum, more than she will ever see again. She agrees. Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied and subdued. He lies to her. 7 fresh bowstrings. They try it. He snaps them like a thread of yarn. You have made a fool of me. You lied. Tell me how you can be tied. New ropes never used. He snaps them like thread. Until now you have made a fool of me. Tell me how you can be tied. Weave the 7 braids of my hair into the fabric on the loom. He sleeps. She does it. She calls out, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. He wakes up and pulls free. How can you say I love you when you won't confide in me? Day after day she presses him. She nags him until he is sick to death of it. This time, he doesn't lie. He tells her everything. No razor has ever been used on my head because I have been a Nazirite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me and I would become as weak as any other man. Delilah sends word to the Philistine rulers. Come back once more. He has told me everything. They come. Money in hand. She lulls him to sleep on her lap. She calls someone to shave off his 7 braids. He begins to weaken. His strength leaves him. She calls, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. He wakes up thinking, I'll go out as before and shake myself free. He did not know that the Lord had left him. That sentence, those 14 words, the most heartbreaking sentence in Judges. He did not know that the Lord had left him. The Philistines seize him. They gouge out his eyes. They take him to Gaza, the city whose gate he carried on his shoulders, and bind him with bronze shackles. He grinds grain in the prison, but his hair begins to grow again. The Philistine rulers assemble to offer a great sacrifice to their god, Dagon. They celebrate. Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands. They call for Samson to perform for them. They bring him from the prison. He performs for them. They stand him between the pillars. He asks the servant who holds his hand, put me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple so I can lean against them. The temple is full. All the rulers of the Philistines are there. About 3,000 men and women on the roof watching Samson perform. Samson prays. For the second time in 4 chapters, he actually prays. Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes. He reaches toward the 2 central pillars, 1 hand on each. He leans his weight against them. Let me die with the Philistines. He pushes with all his strength. The temple comes down on the rulers and all the people in it. He kills more Philistines in his death than he killed in his life. His brothers and his father's whole family come and take his body. They carry him back and bury him between Zorah and Eshtal in the tomb of his father Manoah. He judged Israel 20 years, set apart before birth, gifted beyond any measure, chosen for a purpose he never fully embraced. He spent his life chasing what God told him to avoid, and God worked through him anyway. Not because Samson was faithful, because God is. The temple falls, 3,000 Philistines die, and Samson, blind, shackled, grinding grain in a prison, finds in his last moment the thing he spent his whole life not quite reaching. He calls on God. God answers. It was always that simple. He just kept making it complicated. Tomorrow, the appendix, 2 stories that show how far Israel has fallen, a stolen idol, a Levite and his concubine, and the most chilling last line in Judges. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. See you then.